Hello. Afternoon, everyone. If we could mute the video, if that's possible. Is that a phrase? Mute the video. Everyone, this is my pal Joey from Alamo Draft House as well. And where is Octavio? Let's get this started. Have everyone come on up. Where is the filmmaker? I'm sure we'll get here in a second. Filmmaker. Oh, there he is. Everyone give a round of applause for the director.
Round of applause for the director.
And I'll have you introduce everyone else that's going to be on stage.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really glad for sharing this film for the first time. I think it's an amazing opportunity to be here with you guys. And I want to call the band here. You know, they're right here. Yeah. Andreas, Paulo, Derrick.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes, boa tarde.
Our producer Luciana Ferraz, join us please.
The very first thing I did want to ask about was Vanya. The metal mother? The mother of the scene?
The metal mother?
Yeah, tell us more about her, please.
Well, Max and Igor, they lost their father very early. I think Max was around 8 or so, Igor was 6. And they used to live in São Paulo. And their mom is from Belo Horizonte, where Sepultura started. So after their father died, they decided to come back to Belo Horizonte, her hometown, and she took care of the kids by herself, basically, you know, and she let them do whatever they want. It was crazy, crazy. Exactly, whatever they want, they want to do it. And I mean, and the house was kind of chaotic, but that's what we wanted to have, you know, freedom to do whatever we wanted. And so their room was like with paintings and posters, and they always thought about music all the time. And Vanya was very welcome to all the friends that came from different cities to visit Sepultura, to go to the practice and to see shows. Between São Paulo, Rio, and Belo Horizonte was a very strong underground scene. You know, a lot of fans that listened to all the music from Europe and the States, and we started to have our own bands, you know, and in '86, right, Sepultura played with Venom and Exciter in Brazil. And I think was the record hold for the Max and Igor's house was how many people sleeping there?
Let's see.
Around 100 people. Really. Yeah. It was people all over the place, in the bathroom, in the living room, in the kitchen, you know, in the backyard, everywhere. And she took, you know, everybody home, you know, so...
their house used to be the motel, and my house was the rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to add as well, as you saw in the movie, you know, Paulo's family was very important, my family as well, you know, for us to be here, and I believe for Igor and Derrick it was the same, you know, without our families, I mean, our musical career... Igor. Eloy, thanks. Gian. 4 letters, goddamn. And yeah, Eloy's family, and crucial, you know, fundamental for us to be here because, you know, they were very supportive throughout the very beginning, you know, since the start, and, you know, that's why we're here today, and, I mean, you know, and they still, I guess, very proud of what we did, you know, so it's good.
Set the scene a little bit more for what Brazil in the early 80s was actually like, culturally, politically, musically. What was it like growing up there?
Well, early 80s, Brazil was going through a big change, political change. You know, in the 1979 was the amnesty, you know, for the politicians who were, you know, exiled, and they all came back to Brazil, and then started to fall all the dictatorship that started in 1964 in Brazil. And 1985 or 84, the end of 84 was where Sepultura started, and was at the same time that Rock in Rio happened in Brazil for the first time, January 1985. And for the first time we could see those bands, you know, live, very close to us, Ozzy, Iron Maiden, Scorpions, and Whitesnake, so many bands that we already dreamed, you know, to see. And that was a big impact for us as well. So I think we were lucky to be our age, you know, to be living during those days, to feel that kind of freedom, really, you know, rock and roll and music. Rock and roll was not only important for international bands, but mostly for Brazilian the rock scene, you know, like Paralamas do Sucesso, Barão Vermelho, and so many other bands that are still great in Brazil today, you know, started right there, you know, in that open the gates of, you know, freedom, really, you know, to express and to do whatever we might think and talk about different topics and lyrics and everything, you know, without being concerned of censorship and everything. So Sepultura started on that beautiful dawn, you know, of a new beginning for Brazil. Unfortunately, you know, all those bastards that were exiled, you know, are the corrupted guys today, you know, so I don't know if it was really a good idea to make them coming back to Brazil, but we're dealing now with all the consequences of that time, you know. It's really a very weird situation in Brazil right now politically, but yeah, that's the same kind of people that came back now, then, you know, in '85. But it was great. I mean, for us it was perfect because, you know, we could really explore and do the music we wanted to do without concerning of censorship or any politics like that.
And when Sepultura was just starting out, was there even a metal scene in Brazil? Like, what kinds of bands were around to play with? Was it mostly punk, or yeah? Were there other metal bands in?
Yeah, it was a few bands, you know, like I said, São Paulo, Rio, Belo Horizonte. We have a lot of underground bands, Sepultura, Dorsal Atlântica, Vulcano, and all the bands that we mentioned, especially in Belo Horizonte, Sarcófago, Chacal, Holocausto. So it was a lot of young guys playing and, you know, helping each other, really, with using the same equipment. When I joined Sepultura, I used, you know, the equipment for the guys from Mutilator, and using even the guitar from Gyro, you know, the old guitar player and stuff. So it was really special, you know, like Gordon was saying in the movie, you know, it was really organized in a way. You could see it was chaotic, you know, but somehow was organized, you know, it was very focused. Since I joined the band, you know, we practiced every day, and even before, you know, like really practicing a lot. We didn't do anything else. Of course, we tried to go to school in the morning. At least I did, you know, I tried. And Paulo as well, yeah. And the band started to happen, you know, so really quickly actually, you know, because '87 I joined the band. The band started in '85, and already '89 we had an international contract and stuff, and touring around the world. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people wishing for their dream, you know, to be in a band and be successful and stuff. And it was very, very healthy, you know, it was really cool.
There's so much documentation. Luckily, you were on video and tons of photographs, and every era of the band is very well documented. It must have made your job easier.
Yeah, actually we have to do a huge research, right? There was a lot of material, and it's sad because if you guys saw in the film, you have to cut the audio sometimes because you couldn't be able to play the whole songs because the band, the former members of the band didn't want it to be on the film. So we have problems to show the actual formation of the band playing the old songs on this film. That's why we kind of bring the volume down as a protest, because you know, yeah. So it's It's the actual Sepultura playing the classics. And actually, the end of the film, I love to end the film with the whole Roots song, because it was a great moment at the 30-year show of the band. It was very emotional, and you could see the crowd embracing the band at the moment. I say, wow, that's a great finale. But I'm not going to be able to show that for now, you know. But I'll keep trying and to make this film to be as we dreamed, because we shot this film during 7 years. You know, it's 7 years of our lives involved in this film and trying to do our best and researching and recording. I traveled with guys all over the world. I could see Indonesia, I could see Europe, everywhere. So it's sad because we invited them since the beginning of the film, because that's a film about Sepultura. At the same time that we talked to the band, we talked to them, and they refused to be on this film. So.
Just to complete what he's saying, yes, we did have a lot of footage. We had 800 hours of footage that we shot, and we did have a lot of old footage. They recorded a lot, and we have a lot more. We wish we had the time to show, of course, everything. And some of the things that, you know, of course, we want to show, we couldn't show because of legal reasons. But we do have a lot coming up later on. For the extras, when, you know, of course, DVD comes out and all this stuff, but I guess
because it seems like you shot a lot of concert footage. So did you manage to get like whole shows? And would you release?
Oh yeah, the São Paulo concert. We have the whole concert. It was like 2 hours of a historical concert.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, the show we did in São Paulo for the 30-year anniversary in 2015.
Yeah.
Still touring for the Mediator, and I think it's you know, it's kind of sad that Max and Igor didn't want it to be a part more, you know, showing what they're doing today and stuff, you know, like the development of his ideas, their ideas, and different projects. I have my project, Derrick has his project, and, you know, Eloy and Paulo as well. And, you know, we would love to explore a little more even of that legacy, you know, including our kids, you know. My son is playing guitar, and I know Max's son as well, you know, play music and instruments and stuff, and show that legacy, you know, that influence not only professionally with music, but also as a family, as a father, you know. But I mean, it's their choice. I respect that. I don't agree with that, but I respect that. And I think the idea here is the movie is to show a little bit of this trajectory and understand a little bit why we're still here, you know, after so many years, with a great label, with a great following of fans, and great lineup, and all the crew and managers and lawyers, and, you know, all that stuff that fortunately or unfortunately we need to be, you know, successful and do the stuff that we have to do. And I think it is. I mean, we don't want to attack no one. You know, I think the idea of the movie was not really to try to resolve once and for all who is right or who is wrong, because that's not the point, you know. We're never going to get into an agreement, you know. We have different point of view about the same action or the same object, whatever, you know. So we try to respect that and just show the facts, you know, what happened. And very important people that were a part of our history that wanted to be a part of this, and I have to thank all of them, you know, all the musicians and roadies and managers that were a part of Sepultura. They were very important for us to be here today, and we love them all, you know. We love even the haters, you know. I love the haters. They are a part of it.
And I was wondering what it was like for you guys to go on tour and perform and have a camera there to capture all of it. Like, what was that process like for you guys? Did you feel ever like you wanted to not have certain things on camera? What was that relationship like?
I mean, I think everybody got used to it pretty quickly. It's a job of a really good director or filmmaker. I mean, they really just have to be able to find, you know, that right opportunity to shoot and capture those moments. But the best moments when, you know, people aren't aware of what's going on or being recorded. And I think everybody except for Paulo, maybe everybody got used to it.
It's cool because Otavio became a friend, you know, like he was a Duran Duran fan before, and now he loves metal. Sorry, man.
Actually, I tried to, and spend some time with these guys to do a cinema verite documentary style. When they forgot they were there, like the bus scene with Tian, they were talking on the beginning. They didn't see there was their recording.
I did.
You know, yeah. Paul was the only one.
Paul was a great actor there. He didn't say anything.
I was the corridor of the bus, and Paul was right in front of me. But the three of them, they couldn't see me, so I think it's one of my favorite moments in the film, because there was very natural, and I was there and I could see what was going on, and at the same time you can't intervene, and you know what I'm saying, I could see like Jean going away. It was really a sad moment, you know. But that's how documentary filmmaking is. I thought we were going to be done in 1.5 years. That was my plan. And then 7 years.
7 is the magic number.
Yeah, 7 years. And I was always coming with more footage. Luciana said we have almost 1,000 hours of footage, you know. You even have more hard drivers for that, you know. Terabytes, you know, extra terabytes of the craziness. And, but I'm really glad that we finally showing that to you guys today. It's a pleasure. And I'd like to thank the O2, our distributor. Igor is here. They did a great job bringing this film to Los Angeles. And Alamo Draft House, thank you so much. And the Regent for being the opportunity for us to be here sharing this work with you. You know, that's the first time that I share with the audience, so I'm really glad that I can see great people here. Thank you so much.
Just finished the tour yesterday, come on, man.
You're tired, right?
One of my favorite rock movies of all time is Some Kind of Monster about Metallica. Did any of the band worry that it would get that personal or that honest at the outset?
Sorry,
Well, were you worried at all at any point that the movie would show too much of behind the scenes? Like Some Kind of Monster shows a lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're better actors than we are. And it seems they love the camera, you know, and we don't. So we're always running away from Otavio, so it was a hard job for him. Like we're talking serious, Otavio's gone. Shut up.
It was always like never like they never shut the door in my face. I was there all the time, so it was even hard to, you know, edit this material, right? Because we have so.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, we have so many great things. It was really hard to edit. Say, oh, we can't leave that, you know. But that the Jean moment, like I think almost 5 to 7 minutes.
If we could make like a 5-hour movie, it's already long, but really, we have so much stuff. We have so much stuff. We could make like another 2 or 3 movies.
We actually recorded 3 albums, you know. I could see the band like recording 3 albums, so it's amazing. We have amazing footage of them creating in the studio and the whole concert, so looking forward to have a DVD with 30 hours of extra. You know. My director's cut of 10 hours, man.
Tell us what you want to.
This is a question for Derrick. I was wondering about your influences as a singer, and you talked about Bad Brains and Cro-Mags, and I was wondering if you feel yourself more influenced by hardcore and punk, or like where, growing up in Cleveland, were you going to metal shows and punk shows, or what was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it really started from going to shows, like visually seeing the bands and buying the albums. Of course, buying the albums and then going to the shows. But it's something you never forget. You know, it was a time period, a scene that was going on, where different people from different schools who were feeling a little bit outside of the norm. I don't even think skateboarding was that popular at the time. You know, it was like really underground kids looking for a really good time and enjoying music. And so once I started going to shows, I was always influenced by that energy of a show, you know, everybody jumping around and being a part of that and being yourself. And it was always appealing to me. It was something that just drew me in from the first show. And it was something I always wanted to do. So I wanted to bring that influence into the band. I felt that I had a background where I was able to sing, scream, or do anything, you know, wherever, you know, what we were feeling. But I didn't want to force myself to try to do something. I just wanted to be in the moment of going to Brazil, meeting these guys. I'd never been to South America. I didn't recognize Portuguese if I heard it. You know, I didn't know anything about Brazil, and I never met them. I didn't even know which person played what in the band, but I still loved the music. I was a fanatical Sepultura fan. So I was like, oh, okay, I better do some research. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Brazil, so let me go down to the library and get a book.
Library, kids, libraries.
That didn't exist.
Not Google.
Exactly.
Tell the truth.
So,
We just went to the beach and had beer.
yeah. And then it progressed to going to the library, not really finding any specific books about Brazil, but about South America. But just going down there and just with an open mind, knowing that I always played music, always played in bands, and this was an opportunity that I didn't want to miss out on. But it was a little, it took me back, you know, because once I got there, the heat, the temperature, you know, the culture, the language, you know, these guys, you know, just switching around with each person in the band, going to their house, getting to know them and their family, and so they could see how I acted. And it was a little rough, you know. I just was like, oh, all right, I got to focus on the music, and then going out with Paulo to the beach and getting completely...
Caipirinhas and sun.
Yeah, caipirinhas, sun. And I definitely relaxed a lot more and came back into the studio again. And then things started to really click slowly, you know, but we felt that there was something that was happening. And I knew that I wanted to come back to Brazil, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I came back to New York and spent a month waiting to hear something. Then it was like, hey, you want to come back to Brazil and start writing an album? And from then on, I really haven't lived in the U.S. It's been over like about 20 years.
Wow. We were also wondering if, we'll get to some audience questions soon. We were also wondering how much hip-hop you guys listen to, because so many other bands that you've influenced incorporated it so much into their bands, but you guys, so many influences worked its way into Sepultura, but not hip-hop explicitly.
Yeah, but we always listen, Public Enemy, Run DMC, and, you know, Ice-T, all of them have, you know, different projects with heavy music, you know. Of course, the Beastie Boys, you know, amazing. But it's something that, it's being done so much, you know, especially by those bands, those first mixers like Aerosmith and Run DMC and Anthrax and Public Enemy, you know, really started the kind of like also helped to shape the new metal, you know, style, you know, that way of singing and stuff. And but for us, I don't know, it's something that we feel the influence more naturally, you know, not trying so hard to do a rap part or to do something more similar, you know, with that. We use some elements like low end, you know, some type of elements musically like that, but it's there somewhere.
And I was particularly interested in like the moment in the documentary where you're talking about the riff kind of changing around schizophrenia and Chaos AD really typified, and then we see its evolution in Roots. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that and why the riff changed, and if it was just that momentary thing or if there was something bigger.
Yeah. Basically because of touring, you know, going to many different places, and a song like Inner Self, for instance, you know, which is more groove and compared to the other stuff that we did on Beneath the Remains, it had the let's say, the biggest response, you know, like moshing and circle beats and all that stuff, you know. So we kind of wanted to do a little more of that, you know. On Arise, it's a little more balanced, you know, but still very fast, very, you know, Slayer influence, you know. But Chaos AD, you know, it was the consequence of this touring for Arise. It was like 2 years of touring, first time in Indonesia, Australia, opening for Ozzy, you know, playing with Ministry and going Japan and so many different places, you know, that we saw Brazil from outside. It's like an astronaut looking the Earth from the moon. You know, you have a totally different perspective of things, you know. And then what happened to us, you know, I said, wow, Brazil is so great, you know, why we hate all the stuff that is going on right there, you know, musically specifically, you know, and we start using that naturally, you know, because I don't know if some of you had the chance to go to Carnaval in Brazil, especially in Rio de Janeiro. You know, if you see those samba, it's ensembles, you know, the drum parts, like 300 people playing together. It's so heavy, man. It's so insane, you know. It's so easy to put a guitar there, and you know, and that's what we did, you know, try to explore that a little more, because it was Brazilian, because it was something that we could do naturally, even though we didn't like samba and all that stuff, you know. That kind of music is on the radio, on TV, on football stadiums, you know, and everywhere. So it is inherited, you know, on us, even if we didn't like it, you know. So we started to explore that more, you know, more groove and more rhythm and stuff like that. Simpler riffs, you know, on KZD to Roots, you can feel like the riff of Roots is like 2 notes, you know. It's very simple, but so effective, you know, so heavy. And we start to explore more of that type of feelings.
Before we take it to the audience, I have one more question for the band. Has the road gotten any easier?
The road what?
Has the road gotten any easier for you?
Easier? No, nothing's easier. But it's what we are, you know. We're not looking for easy. You know, we never did look for easy. We looked for whatever we felt, and regardless of the you know, the challenges we had ahead of us. You know, if you go only easy, you don't go anywhere, basically. You know, so I think that kind of challenge is still very important for us. It doesn't matter if you are Metallica or U2, like we mentioned there. You know, they have big challenges for them as well. You know, it's not about size; it's just about attitude. You know, so. We're very happy to be here after 33 years of a career, you know, talking about this movie and, you know, finishing a great tour here in North America. It's great to be here, you know. That's the easy part. Enjoy that, you know, after, you know, that we conquer so much. And you know, it's just like, I think our connection, you know, as a band, you know, that's something that really, you know, if you see from The Mediator and the last album, Machine Messiah, you know, we are much more connected, you know, we know each other better. Not only Eloy that is here the last, you know, the years, but with everyone.
Well, are there any generation gap problems in the band? The fact that you're younger than the rest of them?
Especially with...
Yes. So what's up?
We have a lot of problems, yeah.
You know, the biggest Eloy problem that he doesn't throw trash on the trash litter. The bus is in a dirty place because of you.
That was the best problem. I solved that problem. Okay. When we have like the cartoons problem, you know, because I like Pokemon.
Those guys pay Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny. That's really old for me. You know?
But everything else is good? All right, do we have any questions from the audience? I saw a hand go up. There's a hand right there.
I have to say that my football coach is here from when I was in elementary school. So it can either been football, you know, defensive end.
Real football or American football?
And I can say in front of all the
never heard that, Derrick. Must be a lie.
No, thank you.
Why not?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Okay. Did we have any other questions from the audience? Right there. For the live stream, he asked what was the filmmaker's original connection to the band?
No connection. We just made a movie called The Music Tree that is about the relationship between the tree that Brazil was named after it, that it's the material used for the violin bows. So the music tree had a good career, went to a lot of festivals around the world, but it was classical music actually. So you have Joshua Bell, David Garrett, you know, it's completely different from Sepultura. And you had the chance actually to have a concert, Sepultura and Orchestra. It's going to be on the extras of the DVD, one of those 800 hours that it didn't show. We have a music concert here of Sepultura with orchestra. And then I showed that to Andreas, right? And then I wanted to make a documentary about Sepultura, and I had a friend called Diego that he said, oh, I know the guys and I think they want to make it. So we have a meeting and they said, okay, let's do it. So that was amazing. And I actually want to thank you guys for trusting me since they didn't even know me, you know?
Yeah, we wanted more a famous director, but...
I know, yeah.
No, I think the Tree of Music, it's an amazing documentary about the tree Pau Brasil, which is made for the arcs for violins and cellos and all that stuff. It was beautifully done, and we did we planned, right? So how many? 1,000 Pau Brasil in Brazil. It was a part of that project Sepultura and Orchestra we did together in São Paulo. And the idea was to do for 25 years of Sepultura, right?
Yeah, the movie was 25 years and
we're 33 now.
Yeah.
8 years then, so. If I started with classical guitar, I started with the acoustic guitar, not specifically classical. My biggest goal was to play Stairway to Heaven when I went to the teacher. I want to play this song. Okay, just leave it here. Let's start with the chords and stuff. It took a while, you know, but I never left the acoustic guitar. Later, I started to learn how to read music and play classical guitar, classical music. It's an amazing world, you know. I still love to play that. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time really to study the way it's needed, you know, to play properly some pieces and stuff. But I love to spend time with my acoustic guitar, and it helps a lot what I do in Sepultura. Even though there are different techniques for guitars, you know, it really helps to open the mind. I mean, you pick up like a music score and you play music that's like 400, 300, 500 years old, you know. It's amazing that you can put and do your performance in such an old piece just because it's written there, you know. So it doesn't need any amplification, anything. It's just very acoustic. You can take anywhere, you know. So it's really personal. It's really, really cool. And yeah, but I still study as much as I can possibly can, you know, and I love it.
A hand in the back. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat a question I did to you back in '87 at Program H. When you guys were only three. Now it's a lot in the drums. You guys gonna keep bring some Brazilian influence, like the drums, stuff like that. Come on, Paulo, don't be negative.
Well,
the other thing is, I totally support you guys to do like orchestra, like Metallica did with SM, and you guys did the ones, and it was fucking awesome. So,
thank you. So I mean, the Brazilian influence is there. I don't think we're ever gonna do something like Roots, you know, because Roots was very special, very specific, you know, to really do that research, you know, the Indian tribe, the Chavantes tribe, our own influence from the big cities and the European music, and, you know, the berimbau and all the percussion influence of the slaves, you know, that came when the Portuguese colonized Brazil, and we really went deep on that. You know, it was a whole learning process. Ross Robinson was, I mean, crucial to make that album sound the way it is. You know, he was there. He was there with us on the tribe. You know, recording everything and very. I mean, he's not Brazilian, but he really embraced our wish, you know, to go and really go deep on the Brazilian culture. And since then, we never really left Brazil, but I don't think we're gonna really repeat something like that, you know. But who knows? Never say never. But I think it's not our plan really to do something like that again, you know.
More questions in the audience, front row.
If you have the plan to play a whole album as a classic album, no, we don't have that plan. I mean, we're very much concentrated and focused on what we're doing now, you know. I mean, we have the Machine Messiah album, we had already 2 tours in Europe and now North America. We're still going, you know, to Brazil and go back to Europe. We have a lot of stuff to do with the new album, you know. We already did Arise in a special occasion in São Paulo, KZD in another special occasion, you know, but not really something to play the whole album as a tour, you know. At least we don't have that plan, and especially now, you know, we're not going to really lose our time and energy to put on something like that. You know.
More questions from the middle? Yeah.
Do you find it difficult to feel as connected to the music that you were hard creating now? Do you feel it challenging to maybe your own really be part of the band with the new drummer that has to learn also amazing classic music?
No. I feel like since the beginning, I was a big fan of the band before playing with them, you know. So first of all, it was an honor for me to be part of, like, to play with these guys every day. I started playing metal when I was 13, 14 years old. So I studied for like a few years until I got to the band. Actually, Sepultura was my first thrash band. I never played thrash metal before I played Sepultura. So I had to learn like the songs really quickly, but I knew some songs because I was a fan of the band before. But no, I think I feel totally comfortable to play with those guys, you know. Yeah, what can I say? The Brazilian music, like the Sepultura has a lot of the Brazilian influence, Brazilian rhythms. So that's something that I always studied when I was a kid, and I feel really comfortable to do like anything with these guys, you know. When we go to the studio, we always try to come up with something new, something from the zero, and it's really good to see how those guys, after 30 years old, 33 years old, like of the band, 33, 34, I don't know, 30 years, 33.
Paulo has 54, we have 34.
33 years of band, these guys, they're still fresh. They go to the studio and they try to bring something new, like with full power, full energy, full intensity. So that's the most beautiful thing that you can have for, you know, like a partner, like as a musician. You know.
Like I say, for us as well, you know, to have Eloy in the band is just like, you know, move, uncle, you know, come on. We feel like grandpas, you know, okay, let's go. The kid is there, like, ah. So it's very motivating for us, for sure, you know, like energy and, you know, playing the old stuff. Like I said, you know, when Igor was leaving the band, you know, he was not really playing with his heart anymore. It was just like, you know, going to the motions, you know, and you can feel the difference when somebody's really there, you know, and he respects everything that everybody did in the band, but, you know, he brings a lot more. And I think we can feel in Machine Messiah that we did stuff that we never did before, because he really challenged, especially myself, you know, to write riffs for the guitars and stuff, and for all of us, you know, consequently. So it's great, you know, to have that challenge and to have that, you know, every time on the show I choose a part and I go to the drums and I just play a little different, just to, you know, to fuck him up or something, just to challenge, to do something different, you know, and that can bring new ideas and new stuff for the future as well, you know, because we play Inner Self like every night and stuff, you know. I mean, I'm gonna change a little bit here just to see what happens, you know, and you know, usually it works.
Can you tell us more about that tape where you're in like New Jersey or something, and there's this what was that?
That's like a contest for drummers that's made of the most famous drum magazine here. It's the Modern Drum magazine. So I was 14 years old at that time, and I sent like a videotape. Like I just recorded like 5-minute solo, and I sent here. And I was the chosen one to come here and perform. I was the winner of the contest for the under 18 category. So I came.
Was the hair?
Were you nervous?
Oh, a lot. Oh my God. That was the most important contest for drummers in the world, you know. So.
Because you didn't look nervous.
You're
very centered.
I was super nervous.
He just lied to you. Every time. I cannot play the part.
And also when I had the audition for the band, like to get in the band, I was really nervous as well. As you could see on video, like my hands were shaking.
You can see our faces.
I was like,
do we need to play anymore?
I was like, it's a big honor to be here with you guys, you know.
Did you know you were going to be filmed when that audition happened?
No.
You didn't know they were going to be filmed?
No, I didn't know that.
That's fucked up.
It really is.
Somebody called me, there's an audition today, this guy is great, so I just put the camera over there, and I was really nervous. And I don't even remember that day, right?
No, I don't remember that day. I was so nervous, you know.
Good as a tape.
Just
so
thinking about the songs, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, no. Feel.
Yeah, and that's something that is great, because I think that Roy Z's here and Ross Robinson, and it was so great to be there, you know, with seeing Roy and Roy Z, I think I saw Ross Robinson over there too, and see these guys, I think so, he was there, and it was so great to see these guys working with the band, you know, it was such a great opportunity to see they creating music and working, so that was really nice, you know, that's a great part of making this film.
Tell us more about the record store guy. The guy who put out your first few. Yeah, he put out your first few albums.
You know, that was really cool because it was totally unexpected. Because Paulo tried many times to get an interview with him, and he was always running away. Who knows why? And
He owes us the money. Frank?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he probably owes us some money. But you know, we were. Let's go to the Cogumelo there, just where we was, just talk about a little bit. And we were walking down and said, "Oh, Cogumelo is here. Let's go see what happens." And Otávio was just like filming, and you see his face like, "Oh, que prazer fudido." What a pleasure. It's like, what the fuck? But he was really nice, you know. He was really nice, and it was cool that have the original painting from Schizophrenia there that I only saw when we did the album, you know. Never did the opportunity to see that again. And it was cool that he was willing to talk to the movie right there, you know. So yeah, he was a really important part of the Sepultura career. Like we all say there, and João from Ratos de Porão say they were really willing to invest, you know, to do a quality product, you know, for the scene. And without Cogumelo, for sure, you know, the whole scene would be not that non-existent, but very weak, you know, if it wasn't for them.
Do we have any last questions from the audience? Right there.
On the new album? Yeah, we have an orchestra, a violin orchestra actually, from Tunisia, which was a suggestion from our producer Jens Bogren. He used the same orchestra in a Moonspell album, back from Portugal. And when we were like preparing the songs to record drums, you know, we went song by song and really make sure the structure was right and everything. He suggested, you know, in some holes and some parts that was not really definite, you know, to use the violins. And this guy in Sweden, which is Tunisian, you know, he wrote all the mock-ups and stuff in a keyboard and sent to the studio. And we love it, you know, really fits very well. It opened a lot of new possibilities, especially for guitar solos and all that stuff, you know. So that kind of stuff, it happened, was not planned. You know, we left Brazil with the demo ready to record. And then of course the producer comes and we do like a pre-production and together, and he comes with his suggestions, and everything we tried out on the album seems to work great, you know, so we just gave ourselves a chance, you know, to try something new, and it worked.
Before we go, I wanted to ask the filmmakers if they had any stories about interviewing Phil Anselmo. Because I love him, for better or worse. He has some extreme viewpoints, but I was wondering if you had any stories about him from the film.
Actually, Phil Anselmo was really cool. You know, when he starts talking like, you know, I love Sepultura, I love it, and his deep voice, you know, he was great, and he spent like, actually everybody, they start talking about Sepultura. It was really hard to edit, right? It's non-stop because they're really fans of the band, and then I realized how Sepultura was different from everything else. Even Lars was like, I think Lars got 10 minutes only. It was really quick, but Lars was so profound. And he started talking about Sepultura, and they had to tell him, Lars, you gotta go to the concert, you know, you need to leave. Because we're sitting over there talking about Sepultura's sound. So that was a great experience, all of them. And Corey Taylor too. Corey Taylor was a big surprise. Such a nice guy, you know. And he even asked, oh, you want me to do the interview? With a mask or without the mask? And I said, fuck, you know. The mask is so cool, you know, but you know, let's do it without the mask, you know, so that's all right.
Pretty much everybody had like, gave us like 5 minutes, because everybody was like rushing to go, you know, to their shows. But every time it was like, we had, the producer would have to come and grab the guys out of the interviews because they didn't want to stop talking about Sepultura and how much they love the band. And you know, the beat and the pulse and everything was very emotional actually to hear everything they had to say, you know, about the band. Was actually really good. And Phil Anselmo was absolutely sweet and awesome. It was really good interview. It was really good.
Tell everybody where they might be able to see the film next beyond this show.
São Paulo.
Yeah, we'll be premiering São Paulo at the 14th.
I'm part of the United Film Festival. Yeah. And it's going to be on the 13th and the 14th, and then we're going to go, Igor from O2, the distribution company, please help me out here.
Yeah, Brazil, June 14th.
14th in theaters.
Mexico.
And then
oh, that's cool. Mexico will be great.
Hopefully Barcelona, Chile.
Probably
iTunes. Lots of extras.
Yeah,
lots of extras.
Director's
We're going to be releasing extras like
50 hours of director's cut.
Daily basis.
Special edition.
Not really, but
it's commentary and everything. You should do the commentary track, right? Seeing 50 hours of footage and commenting.
Yeah, denying everything we say, now that's a lie.
All right, everybody, give everyone up here a round of applause. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming.